Susquehanna Plantation, and ride a steam locomotive, to name just a few. In preparation for the trip, all of our students completed projects related to Greenfield Village and the Henry Ford. These slides are samples from their work. Historical figures like Amelia Earhart, Martin Luther King Jr., and Rosa Parks were some of the people they studied. Tomorrow, our students will see the bus Rosa Parks rode on, the chair President Lincoln was in when he was shot, and so many exhibits from our history. Tonight, we'll be staying in the historic Dearborn Inn. We are thankful for the learning that will take place on this trip, and thank you for allowing our students to return to Greenfield Village and the Henry Ford Museum this year.
Virtual inn, and he let Mrs. Lindgren know that they will be at Golden Corral while the meeting was going on, and he didn't know how that was going to go, so he did a video.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sounds like a great trip. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun for the kids. Okay, next on our agenda, we have our recognition of our 2021-2022 retirees.
So I want to thank the board as you have continued to want to honor our retirees as they are leading into their next fun adventure, we hope, in retirement. So this evening, we did honor those individuals who were able to be in attendance with a small reception and a gift from the board. We will be also putting together an opportunity for that to be shared on social media. At this point in time, I'm unable to get into my email to read that, but I will be happy to share that at the end during my superintendent's comments.
Very good, thank you. All right, next we have our Portage Township Education Foundation Grant Recipients presentation from Ruth Koza. Ruth here? There, no Ruth.
Mrs. Norman wins that prize.
Unfortunately, Ruth could not make it tonight. Mr. Norman, sixth grade teacher at Lakewood Middle School, PTEF board member, and your presenter this evening. So thank you for allowing us to be here. I was a grant recipient for many, many years, and the benefits that PTEF allows us in our classroom, I just can't explain it to you. It gives you those little extra things to go the extra mile and do those fun things with your kids. I'll just be quiet, and we have a couple of grant recipients here who'd like to let you know what they're doing this year.
I'm Mindy Molaski. I also teach at Piglet with Lisa, and I am blessed to get 2 grants this year from the grant committee, so they kind of go hand in hand. Last year, I got some picture books for diversity. This year's picture books, adding on to that, to our classroom libraries, are about empathy and kindness. I think we lost that during the pandemic, and we need to get it back. Some of these kids don't know how to treat each other, and I think as teachers, we are their models to help them with that. And then in addition to that, I got a grant for a Spark Club, which is strengthening positivity and reinforcing kindness club that we'll have after school, and every month we'll have a different theme just to promote kindness and empathy in our classrooms and our community. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Alyssa Tampier, and I'm a kindergarten teacher at Myers. The grant that I won was a sensory path. A sensory path consists of floor or wall decals that come in a variety of different designs that promote movement, such as hopscotch, heel-to-toe walking, push-ups, wall sits, things like that. Integrating a sensory path into our school not only serve as an effective way to calm down the students, but also help them refocus by moving their bodies, but also serve as a way for students to take a break from transitioning to a new activity.
Hi, my name is Kara Thornberry from Jones. I'm also a kindergarten teacher. The award I got was for a hands-on learning device that will go in addition to our new math curriculum called Math Stackers. And they're phone blocks that you have from numbers 1 through 10. And the number 1, 10 of the number 1s equals the number 10. And then like 3 of the 3s equal 9. So you can do all numbers and operations and problem solving. It can be used all grades, K to 6, like at our school to 5. And it comes with a workbook that you can share with the other teachers. We were awarded several sets. I only asked for 1, but the grant was, the committee was very generous and they gave us extra so we can share with the other grades as well.
My name is Brian Burnett. I'm in charge of the business club at the high school. My grant is very, very simple. Our organization is very expensive to be part of, and the money that the Educational Foundation has given us will go right to helping to pay for some of our kids to go down to state to compete, hopefully get to nationals. I remember your last meeting and you wanted to know how we did in Dallas. I actually have that report right here that I'd be happy to share with you guys how we did.
Thanks, Brian.
One of our sophomores get top 20, but not 1 but 2 offense as a sophomore. So we're hoping for more and better things next year. I'd like to publicly thank the Educational Foundation for making this money available to us.
Hello, my name is Georgia Adi. I'm the school advisor at Aylesworth Elementary. This is Millie. She pressed some keys on the keyboard while I was typing this, so she can get credit too. My project was addressing the whole child, providing a safe place for dysregulated students. So now more than ever, students are struggling to regulate their emotions. Often students are experiencing emotional dysregulation, exhibit behaviors that lead to missing key instructional time, thus leading to poor academic performance. So by creating a safe place in all classrooms, we can empower these students to become emotionally regulated through social-emotional education and techniques. Students will now have an identified space to identify their emotions without needing to leave the classroom environment. The goal of having a safe place in each classroom is that students will be able to self-identify their emotion, use a variety of calming strategies and techniques to self-regulate, and return the classroom lesson as an engaged learner. Thank you for this opportunity. Our school is so excited to be able to have safe places for all of our students.
Hello, I'm Shelley Janina from Willow Creek Middle School. Our grant was for a sensory room. The sensory room to help kids. There are a lot of kids, like they have talked about, that have trouble regulating their emotions. They're missing instruction or they're getting suspended. So we're going to have a sensory room with either movement things if they need that or a quiet area. We're going to have both of those so the kids can go in there and try to get their emotions regulated and get back to class as soon as they can. I would like to thank the PTEF Foundation for giving us this grant. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kelly Smith. I am a counselor at Willow Creek Middle School. My grant is a little bit different because mine was geared toward the staff at Willow Creek. Mine is for something called a wellness room. And being a counselor in the school, obviously these past few years, especially with COVID, we've noticed a higher incidence of stress level and mental health issues amongst our students, but also with our staff. So I put together what we're calling a wellness room. So it's basically a space for staff to go to when they need a break in the day. So obviously that would most likely be during their plan times or during their lunch time. And things that I'm going to be providing are things that will try to help them have some stress busters. So we have some nice things coming in right now. It's been like Christmas. Everything's been delivered to my house though, so it's been really interesting trying to get it all to the school. But we're setting up a coffee and tea bar, we have a massage chair, we have a nice little sitting area, we have things like aromatherapy, yoga mats for they need to kind of stretch out a little bit. We have
like some meditative coloring type books, stress buster type books, and I have all kinds of other ideas. Just to kind of expound on this, I'm kind of trying to partner with some community agencies to bring in some other resources. Everything from nutritional type things to financial type information. Basically what I'm going to do is survey our staff and see where they feel like their needs are. And I'm going to network and try to bring as many resources, hopefully free, into the building for them. And I'd just like to thank PTEF, they've been great, and especially Ruth, she's been amazing with getting everything ordered for me. So that's been really nice. Thank you.
It looks like only one person in queue up, and that's Kerry Weaver. He is a PLTW teacher at Bigley. He wrote a grant to get the tables that stand up so kids have a variety of seating options because he thinks it's going to help them be more engaged. I thought that was a great idea. I'd like to thank the board for your support this past school year. We couldn't have done this without you. Also, this is the first year where PTS and PTE have partnered together and are jointly funding grants. So there are some ESSER dollars that are able to assist these grants that will allow the PTEF dollars to go farther and just allow more people to get access to these resources. So thank you for collaborating with us. We appreciate it. And so to our teachers, again, thank you so much. We are really looking forward to seeing all the great things that these teachers are doing in their classrooms.
Great. Well, you have a great representative on our board, and I'm sure she'd like to add a few comments.
I sure would. I'd like to congratulate the recipients. Thank you for taking the time to apply for the grants, and so that our students and now our staff could benefit from your creativity and your commitment. I'd also like to take a moment to acknowledge the board, the Education Foundation Board, who serve on this foundation because they volunteer their time as well. These individuals meet, we plan, they fundraise in order to have the funds in order to support these outstanding grants. So this group really makes a difference for everything that they do, and I'd like to tell you that we value you very much. And thank you again.
Great. Thank you. Anybody else have any other comments for the group? Well, you, just like the others, don't have to stick around if you don't want to. See, go home to your families. But thank you so much for being here and sharing your success stories and your projects. All right, we'll move on. Are there any adjustments to the agenda by the board? No? We'll do our superintendent's consent agenda, which has got a personnel report for May the 23rd, our donations report, as well as our claims report and facility use request report. Do we have a motion to approve the superintendent's consent agenda?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, call roll, please.
Trustee Finley.
Yes.
Trustee Vasquez.
Yes.
Trustee Maleta.
Yes.
Trustee Williams, yes. Trustee Wilkie.
Yes.
Next, we have our board's consent agenda, which includes our minutes of the discussion meeting from May the 9th. Do we have a motion to approve the board's consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have the motion and second. Any discussion? Call roll, please.
Trustee Vasquez.
Yes.
Trustee Maleta.
Yes.
Trustee Williams, yes. Trustee Wilkie.
Yes.
Trustee Finley.
Yes.
Next, we'll move on to board development committee reports. Are there any committee reports?
Yes, I'd like to report that the food pantry met on May the 17th, last week. There were 375 individuals who were served during the month of April. Donations received were almost $3,000, and expenses were $2,800. The pantry is planning to have a tag day in September, so I will let you know the date and the details about that. There was also a postal drive that generated over 4,500 pounds of food items. So thank you to all who participated, and again to all the volunteers who give up their time to make this happen and to help our families in need. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Welcome.
Any other board reports? If not, move on to old business. We have our recommendation to award the waste and recycle bid.
So, as you know, the bid was advertised April 15th and April 22nd in the Times and Post. The packets were sent to 4 vendors, and 2 bids were received and opened May 9th by Attorney Elwood. The recommendation to the board is to award the waste removal recycling bid to Waste Management for the period of July 1 to June 30.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the waste recycle bid?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
We have the motion and second. Any discussion? Call roll, please.
Trustee Maleta.
Yes.
Trustee Williams, yes. Trustee Wilkie.
Yes.
Trustee Finley.
Yes.
Trustee Vasquez.
Yes.
Next up, we have our approval to cancel the bid award of the IT retired technology.
The IT retired technology bid has been rescinded. So due to this, Mr. Gran took advantage of contacting the next bidder, who has now since agreed to honor their original bid for the retired technology purchase of $129,897. We are seeking approval to cancel the sale to Cornerstone Technologies to Cornerstone Technologies and award the sale to Limitless USA.
Thank you. So, Mr. Elwood, we make this motion to cancel this bid. Are we at the same time approving the other bid, or is that going to come as a separate?
It should be either one motion or 2 separate motions.
Okay. So our first motion would be to cancel the bid award of IT retired technology to, what was the name of the company? Cornerstone.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
We have the motion and a second. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Williams, yes. Trustee Wilkie.
Yes.
Trustee Finley.
Yes.
Trustee Vasquez.
Yes.
Trustee Maleta.
Yes. So then now we are looking for a motion to approve Limitless.
I'll make a motion to approve Limitless for the retired IT technology.
Second?
We have the motion and a second. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Wilkie.
Yes.
Trustee Finley.
Yes.
Trustee Vasquez.
Yes.
Trustee Maleta.
Yes.
Trustee Williams, yes.
Next, we have the approval of the Advanced Placement Teacher Investment Program Agreement for the school year 2022-2023.
As you know, our current high school administration had brought forth AP Tippin a few years back. This is the Advanced Placement Teacher Investment Program, and it has been implemented in Portage High School, and it has produced success in expanding the number of students enrolled in and achieving qualifying scores in advanced placement for math, science, and English exams. They implement this program in the state of Indiana and collaborate with the University of Notre Dame Center for STEM Education, the University of Notre Dame Institute for Educational Initiatives, the National Math and Science Initiatives, the College Board, and other organizations that focus on success in AP STEM courses that prepare students for post-secondary pursuits. In exchange for the resources, AP Tippin agrees to provide for Portage High Schools per above Portage Township's, provide $1,250, the fee amount, and it will be invoiced on or around August 5th, 2022, and the payment is due to the program by September 30th.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the AP tip-in agreement for the school year 2022-2023?
Make a motion.
Second?
We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion?
Just a question for future, just how many students are participating in the AP Tippin program? That'll be good data for the community. And are they still giving the, they used to give stipends to the kids, do they still do that? That's my second question. They got a certain score on the test.
Yep. I will get that to you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Any other discussion, questions? Hearing none, call roll, please.
Trustee Finley.
Yes.
Trustee Vasquez.
Yes.
Trustee Maleta.
Yes.
Trustee Williams, yes. Trustee Wilkie.
Yes.
Okay, next we'll move on to our superintendent reports. Dr. Alanes.
The Portage High School Band and Orchestra has been the recipient of the Indiana State Music Association All Music Award for the 21-22 school year. So congratulations and well-deserved. I also wanted to mention that this afternoon at 3 p.m., Trustee Maletta and Trustee Williams met with my team for the Buildings and Grounds Committee to review some potential projects for an upcoming GEO bond for 2022 and some additional opportunities with our ESSER funds on air quality improvements. So we look forward to sharing some information with the whole board and seeing where that will take us. I did just want to share with you, there's a free webinar coming up for ISBA, How Am I Doing? Strategies for Building Strong Superintendent Evaluations, May 25th and Thursday, May 26th. So I'll just share that with you in an email. As you know, graduation is June 5th at 7 p.m., and I will be getting some additional details to you. Policy Committee, we will be meeting, Trustee Vasquez and Trustee Wilkie and I will be meeting after our regular meeting on June 13th for updates, and we intend to bring a first reading of the policies before you on June 27th. We also have our next collaboration to review the board's agenda June 9th with President Maletta and one additional member. That's at 9 a.m. virtually, so I will work with him to get that taken care of. I want to thank the board as we will be starting the school year employees, the year-round employees will be starting the 410s. And again, thank you for promoting rest and relaxation amongst our employees who work year-round and allowing them to prioritize family time by having that additional weekend day over the summer months. Our preliminary results for iLearn are being reviewed. These results are currently embargoed, so details will be forthcoming, but I did want to let you know we are currently reviewing those preliminary results. As you know, Thursday, May 26th is our last student day, and Friday, the 27th is our last day for our school year employees. We have had a month full of staff appreciation, just small things to share a token of our appreciation, and all of their hard work has definitely not gone unnoticed, I know, by yourselves and the rest of us as well. Our board retreat is scheduled for June 14th. I'll be getting you additional information on that. And I want to also just thank in advance for cooperation and flexibility of our families as we will continue to share the school start time changes and the child care opportunities that we have started to work through based on the surveys that we've gotten back from families. We had a great response to that. And again, the national shortage in bus drivers is driving why we're addressing this in the three-tier system that many of our local school districts surrounding us currently utilize and have for years prior to ours. The only other thing I wanted to share is specific to that very thing, which is not only the national crisis for bus drivers, but just in general in education. And I read an article this weekend in NEA Today that's entitled Beyond Burnout, We Must Act Now to Prevent the Great Educator Exodus. And they're calling this time the Great Resignation. 55% of educators across the nation, teachers in the classroom, are looking to leave education currently when surveyed. And this is not to leave and go to another district. This is simply to leave the profession. And this is obviously a time of crisis. They are referring to the unknown fallout of the pandemic and the collective trauma that everyone has experienced during this. The high turnover rates in the classroom, specifically in Title I schools and populations of students, large districts with populations of minority students. Staffing shortages to include, as I just shared, bus drivers, instructional assistants, other school personnel because of the collective trauma. As we know, that educators and those in education, no matter the role they play, they are often expected to selflessly absorb the overload because we do it for children. And although obviously that is what school personnel do, it is taking its toll tremendously on our public education system. Again, educational support personnel are feeling this impact of the shortage across the country. A staggering statistic, January of 2022, there were 389,300 fewer public school educators than in February of 2020. Nearly 400,000 less public educators in 2 years. We know that, this crisis started long before the pandemic with trying to find job openings that are not able to be filled, shortages with substitute teachers, hard to staff positions such as math, science, special education, and now the expansion of all staffing positions, again, including cafeteria workers, bus drivers, para-educators. It is just a significant concern across the nation. So I just wanted to share with you some of this information and also just mention that NEA is specifically referring to the undervalued expectations that have been pressed upon all who serve in public schools during this time of crisis, and that this was an interesting remark made by the president of NEA. The pandemic has revealed that the only reason the education system isn't crumbling down is that teachers and school staff are holding it together. So it's just very fitting that Mrs. Smith brought up the very grant that she has put in place for those at Willow Creek. And we need to look at solutions. We know that at the local level, we have to be unified with our teachers and our support staff personnel. But as you also know, that we need to work to get the legislators to understand the impacts and the shortfalls, and that we really need to restore and have solutions to what we're finding to be this significant crisis that will eventually end in an exodus from the profession. So, not to give you the doom and gloom side of it, but the very real side of it. And I think that, collectively, again, as we talk across the state, across the region, and nationally, people are really burned out.
And thank you for sharing that. It's important for us to know those things and be wary of them and be looking for solutions, at least in our own district, and what we need to do.
And I will tell you, I've clicked on some of the links, and we'll be studying them in our group coming up here soon. But they do have, so how do you address these things, and what are some best approaches, the top 4 things that also educators and other support personnel in schools have said will help. So there's some great opportunities to at least locally get into action.
Great, thank you. Okay. Are there any other items that weren't on the agenda that the board would like to bring up at this time? No? I don't believe we received any public comment forms. We did not. Okay. Well, and our next meeting is on, looking at the calendar, well, June the 5th would be the graduation, and our next meeting is June 13th. Is that correct? All right. Well, if nobody has anything else, thank you everyone for being here this evening. Meeting's adjourned.
Thank you.